Call to order the City of Wyoming, November 5th, 2019 City Council meeting. Let the record show we have a quorum. Councilmember Yeager, Schilling, Luger, Zeros, and Mayor Iverson are present. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance led by Wyoming Councilmember and veteran Joe Zeros.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Right, open forum is an opportunity for members of the public to address the City Council on items that is not currently on the agenda. However, if you would like to speak to something on the agenda, you can sign up in the back. Items requiring council action may be deferred to staff or boards and commissions for research and future council agendas if appropriate. You will be limited to 3 minutes, and we ask that you conduct yourself in a professional, courteous manner and refrain from the use of profanity. Failure to abide by this policy may result in the loss of your privilege to speak. Do we have anybody here tonight that would like to speak on an item not on the agenda? Please come on up, state your name and address.
My name is Chuck Dyer. I live at 26589 Everton Circle. This is part of the 20-01 Streets Improvement Project.
Sure.
At the public information meeting, I believe it was 2 weeks ago, there was mention of the ditch work that was going to be done along there. It's still being reviewed, and that was going to be added to the assessed rate for overland flow. And I want to know why that's being tacked onto the project cost instead of being handled under maintenance fees that are collected every year in taxes. That's all.
Okay, so Mr. Erickson, can you answer that, or would you like to get back to him?
I certainly can answer that, and that question did come up. It was a good question that had come up at the neighborhood meeting, and we are prepared to bring that to the city council and just make sure that we conveyed that message to the city council at the public hearing so that everybody could hear the answer, hear the question, hear the answer. And so this evening I don't have, I didn't expect to see Mr. Dyer here this evening, so I will have that number at the next meeting just to present the options to the city council. It's not, I don't believe it's a tremendous impact on the assessed amount, but you know, there's certainly an argument for that, and I think there's an argument to have it included as well. And so that'll be something that the city council will hear at that meeting with an option, just to let people know that we've heard this question. This is the impact on the assessment and how you'd like to address that. And so it can be something that's can be taken out at that meeting and be borne, you know, through the maintenance dollars that are somewhat non-existent, but something that we can discuss.
Okay, and we always want to be aware of how it affects assessments and that sort of thing, right? So
He did voice that. I just wanted to
Okay,
put it on a record
great.
at one of these meetings.
Okay,
And if,
so
do you plan on being at the meeting? If you're not, I certainly can call you in advance and share what that is.
The one on
The 20th, correct? Yeah, okay.
okay, so that's great. Anything else, though, please let us know or reach out to Mr. Erickson. So,
Yep.
all right, we appreciate you coming in. Is there anybody else? No. If not, we'll move on to the approval of minutes. Consider approving the minutes of the regular meeting of the Wyoming, Minnesota City Council for October 15th, 2019. If there are no comments or questions, do we have a motion to approve?
So moved.
We have a motion to approve by member Zeros. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by member Schilling. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. We'll move on to the consent agenda. Anyone wish to pull an item for further discussion? If not, do we have a motion to approve 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of the consent agenda?
So moved.
We have a motion to approve by member Schilling. Do we have a second? Second. We have a second by member Luger. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. The next would be the reports from our officers, boards, commissions, and department heads. That would be on our agenda 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. Does anybody wish to pull a report for further discussion? If not, we'll move on to old business, number 12. Number 12, to consider Resolution 191182, a resolution receiving the feasibility report and setting the public hearing for the 2020 Street Improvement Project, City Project number 20-01. Mr. Erickson?
Yes, thank you, Madam Mayor, members of the council. This is just a cleanup matter, as you may recall, we presented the feasibility study to the city council at the October 15th city council meeting. During that presentation, I'm not sure if you noticed, but I had pause. I noticed something that caught me off guard, that the calculation for the assessment did not include the drainage. And so I followed that with an email to the city council, just notifying them that at this meeting, we would be updating the feasibility number to reflect that change. And so then we did present the appropriate numbers at the neighborhood meeting on the 23rd. And so I just wanted to make sure that we formally just cleaned up that feasibility study, asked that you, again, just accept the feasibility study and set that hearing. We've mailed out the notice already for the hearing
Okay.
as well, and we've notified the paper. And so I just wanted to make sure we cleaned that up. I happened to be out of town and somebody had changed the process. We, at their early initial neighborhood meeting even, before we even prepared and finalized the feasibility study, we indicated that the assessments are calculated based on the street and the drainage. And so it's been a consistent message. A staff member just had modified that while I was out of town, and we submitted the report here to city staff for inclusion in the council report. And so I just needed to rectify that. So
Yeah.
we're
Well,
just
it's-
asking to.
It's great, we caught it, right? Or that you
Yep.
caught it. So
Yeah.
that's a good thing. So, okay. So we need a motion to approve Resolution 191182, resolution receiving the feasibility report and setting the public hearing for the 2020 street improvement project, city project number 20-01. Do we have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Motion to approve by member Zeros. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by member Luker. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? So carried. New business, number 13. To consider resolution 191183, a resolution approving site plan S-19-004, Hallberg Inc., Boat Storage Rack System, Austin Hallberg Marine Inc., 26260 Fallbrook Avenue, PID 21-00468, .26. Mr. Wecker, are you gonna be talking about this one?
Yes, Madam Mayor and City Council members. Over Marine Inc. are looking for site plan approval for a boat rack storage system. It's approximately 25 feet tall, 3 tiers of boats. Planning Commission reviewed it, and part of the staff report at that time was concerned about meeting setbacks. Mr. Hallberg submitted a revised plan, so I revised condition number 1 to reflect that the racks be relocated out of the required setback areas and the racks not exceed a length of 471.5 feet in order to maintain a minimum 25-foot front yard setback and a 3-foot minimum rear yard setback in accordance with the applicant's revised site plan. And then the second one would be to obtain any necessary permits, and the applicant consented to the conditions set forth by the city council. I did do a revised drawing. The 471.5 feet is what both sections work out to for the 2 portions he removed. That will fit in between the property lines. To add another section, it wouldn't fit. That's the staff and planning commission recommendation, recommend approval of those conditions.
Okay, awesome. All right, questions from council? All right, if there are no questions from council, we need a motion to approve, and I'm gonna shorten it up a little bit. Motion to approve resolution 191183, a resolution approving site plan S-19-004, Hallberg Inc., Boat Storage Rack System. Do we have a motion to approve?
So moved.
We have a motion to approve by member Zeros. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by member Schilling. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So approved. All right, number 14, to consider resolution 191184, a resolution approving maintenance work on the 2009 Mack dump truck by Ness Truck and Equipment in the amount of $9,030.18. Mr. Elmjold, I'm assuming you're
Yes,
working on this one?
Mayor and council members, this 2008 Mack truck, unfortunately, I have to bring it back again. It has a regeneration system that was started in 2007 with EPA stuff, so most of the repairs of this truck have been parts that are associated with regeneration, which would be the exhaust, and it just keeps breaking, and so hopefully everything's done now. We did get it back, and it seems to run just fine. The reason that we went ahead, I talked to City Administrator Linwood, and we went ahead and did the fix. Didn't know when it was gonna snow, how long it was gonna take. Our new truck was delivered now, but didn't know when that was gonna be completed. And we still have another truck getting brine tanks. And so we just went ahead with the policy and approved it. And hopefully, this will be the last bill of the year on this. So,
Are you knocking on wood?
yeah. And-
So, yeah, okay.
And so our recommendation would be for the council to approve the amount of $9,030.18.
Okay, Mr. Linwood, we do have an emergency policy, correct?
We do, as part of our purchasing policy, we identify a component of that talks about emergency purchases, and it defines purchases necessary to protect health, to protect life, health, and safety. And in speaking with Mr. Almgeld on this, we felt with the, I guess, early colder seasonal weather we felt it was necessary to get the fix completed and make sure if we did have any kind of weather that we could, our Public Works Department had the trucks that they needed to go out and be able to maintain the streets. So we went ahead with that purchase, and then it's presented to council tonight.
Okay. Mr. Amjad, my understanding is this 2009 truck has had a lot of issues, not just ours, but the model itself?
Yes, ma'am. I checked on the internet, and it seems to be an ongoing issue. And so there is a fix, and it's relatively inexpensive. It's $200. It's a mode button, which is also, we have it on the two newest trucks. You push the mode button, it will not let the truck shift no further than third gear, causing the motor to burn warmer. And it seems to eliminate a lot of these problems because the engine is so large inside of the truck. And so
Okay.
we would get that truck into Allison, and they will program it so it will not shift on a third for under $200. And so we're gonna go ahead and get that done on all the trucks that
Yeah.
are eligible for that.
And so how long is this truck, do we think will, and again, I'm knocking on wood on this, last, before we have to replace it? I mean, if we've had all these problems, I'm just,
I think, sure, it'll be good for the 15 years that we should be
Okay.
keeping it, so.
good. Okay, perfect. Any other questions from council? No? All right, if there are no questions from council, we need a motion to approve Resolution 191184, a resolution approving maintenance work on the 2009 Mack dump truck by Nuss Truck and Equipment in the amount of $9,030.18. Do we have a motion to approve?
So
We have a motion to approve by member Luger. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a second by member Zeros. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So approved. Number 15, to consider Resolution 191185, a resolution declaring the cost to be assessed and ordering preparations of proposed assessment roll for the 2019 street reconstruction project, city number 19-01. Mr. Erickson.
Thank you, Madam Mayor and members of the council. I'm happy to report that despite the weather, we have been able to complete that project. So that was a challenge. The contractor did a nice job getting in and out between raindrops. It's been a wet season and very difficult, but in an early winter, it seems, because the weather's gotten so cold so quickly here. But a lot of projects out there that are not getting completed, so I'm happy to say that this is completed. We've calculated our total projected costs at $551,000, just north of $551,000. We have an assessment policy with 20% minimum assessed. So we assess 20%, yielding just over $110,000 in assessments over those 9 assessable units, resulting in an assessment rate of $12,252.34 per unit. So we really just want to go through the formal process that state statutes 429 outlines and declare the cost to be assessed. That's one of the resolutions. That's resolution 1911-85. And then resolution 1911-86 is the resolution setting the assessment hearing. And so that would be the second meeting in December.
Okay.
Or I'm sorry, the first meeting in December. So I'll stand for any questions that you have.
Okay, questions from council? Okay, member Yeager?
The total cost of the project has come in over your estimate. What happened?
Well, it's actually over our feasibility estimate, but it's actually substantially under what we reported after the bid results. So the bid results came in quite a bit higher than what we anticipated. That's a couple of factors. One, The hospital asked that we do a little bit more than what we had originally identified in the feasibility study. And also, we had, at that time, it was a winter design. Public Works had reviewed the curb, identified about how much curb to remove as part of the project. And when we looked at it in the spring as we were finalizing plans, it was very apparent that there was a lot more damage to the curb that was there. And so most of it is just simply, not necessarily a miscalculation or anything of that nature, but just the change in the scope of the project was a little bit larger than what was identified in the feasibility study due to the time of the year. And then again, the bid results were a little bit higher than what we'd anticipated, but they're, the actual, when you see the pay voucher that's coming back, I think it's close to $80,000 under contract. And so it's less, the assessments are more than the feasibility, but less than what we projected at the time of the bid results.
And then the second question is, I noticed that they will have 10 years to pay back the assessment.
You know what?
That's on the resolution.
We need to change that to 15 again.
That's what I was gonna wonder.
That's gone back and forth so many times. That should be
15's our
15.
standard.
15 is our standard.
We both 10 and 15, but more 15 than 10.
Which one was this, Rob? Was this one with the hospital? Did we have a discussion? Was this 15 as well, or was this one 10?
I believe it was 15.
Okay.
I believe so. Our initial with them, yes. I do believe it was 15.
Okay.
So we're gonna go 15?
Yeah, and I think we've received some indication that they'll most likely pay it off prior to that, but
Well,
we'll
yeah.
set it at the 15.
I was just looking for consistency.
Sure, of course.
Mr. Erickson, I just want to confirm that 20% is the lowest. We can go by state statute,
That
correct?
is correct.
Okay, and also just for people that may be watching or don't know that this is the Fairview Avenue into Fairview Hospital. And some people have questioned, why doesn't Fairview pay for it? Why is the city paying for it? But it's our road.
Correct. It is a
Right.
public roadway. Correct.
Yep, so, okay. All right. Any other questions?
I just have a comment. My wife thanks you that it's done because she got tired of people complaining about it being under construction at the hospital every day, so.
Yeah.
Is it striped yet? It's not striped yet. We're waiting till spring
Spring.
to have it striped.
Spring on striping.
Are you guys epoxying that or?
There was not striping there previous to the project, and so there was not any striping on the contract.
Okay.
Oh.
I don't remember.
Okay, so there will be no striping. All right, okay. And do we need to change that resolution with the 15-year in
As
there?
part of that motion, if we could have that
Motion
changed
to
from
have
10
that?
to 15.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, Member Yeager, do you want to make that, so you cut that change?
Okay, move to approve resolution number 19-11-85, declaring the cost to be assessed and ordering the preparation of the proposed assessment roll for the 2019 street improvement project with the one change under resolve number 2. The assessments shall be payable in equal annual installments extending over a period of 15 years rather than 10.
All right,
Second.
all right, so second by Member Zeros. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So carries. Number 16, to consider resolution 1911-86, a resolution calling a public hearing on assessments for the 2019 street reconstruction project, city project number 19-01. Mr. Erickson?
So that's the same item that we just
Yep.
addressed. So it's just just setting the public hearing for that.
Okay, we had the date set for it already.
December
Great.
3rd.
It's
December 3rd.
is the first meeting in
Okay.
December.
Perfect. All right, so we need a motion to approve resolution. Are there any questions? I should probably ask that first. Are we all good with that date? Okay. A resolution to consider, we need a motion to approve resolution 1911-86, a resolution calling for a public hearing on December 3rd on assessments for the 2019 street reconstruction project. Do we have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Motion to approve by Member Zeras. Do we have a second? Second. Second by Member Luker. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So approved. Number 17, to consider the recommendation from the Park Advisory Commission to remove a topped pine tree at Railroad Park. Is that you, Mr. Linwood?
Yes. Mayor, members of the council, last night at the Park Advisory Commission, an agenda item for them was to discuss the current tree. There's a series of 3 large pine trees at Railroad Park on the south side. And that middle tree was, the top was broken off in a storm, and it has been in that current state for quite some time. We brought that last night, just the condition, it's been mentioned that's a bit of an eyesore, and then with our holiday lighting, tree lighting over there, that it would maybe make sense to remove it and be able to focus on the existing trees there, and it would help to allow the boom truck to get in there to decorate the other trees as well. So the Park Advisory Commission last night made a recommendation for the city council to allow Public Works to be able to take that tree down.
Okay. Questions?
Yeah, I have one. Are we going to pull the stump out too?
Yes, we will take a stump grinder, grind it out, remove the chips, and then they also talked about planting a couple trees to maybe screen the propane tanks after we see how it looks after the tree's down.
Okay, will the other, the trees on either side fill out more at this stage to fill in some of that space?
I would assume not. They look pretty mature to me. I
Oh,
don't know
okay.
how long they've been there, but
I didn't know if they were a spreading or a straight species.
I couldn't tell you that either. I just.
Not an arborist?
No, not at all. And so, but we just thought it would be better to put more lights on the two trees and be able to get access to get the lights all the way around the tree easier, to put more lights on it.
And just so the council's aware, we'll be putting out a notice this week of that holiday tree lighting, which will be just the first Saturday as usual in December, December 7th from 4:30 to 6, and we'll be pushing that event out, a flyer and a Facebook event.
Perfect. All right, if there are no further questions, we need a motion to approve the removal of a topped pine tree at Railroad Park.
So moved.
We have a motion to approve by member Schilling. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by member Luker. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So approved. We'll move on to reports. Member Zeros and member Schilling, are you guys working on this one together?
I went to the sewer meeting on the 21st of October.
Okay. Okay, so
Nothing
we'll
to
start with
report.
you. Okay.
And then I attended that meeting over in Lindstrom on the 21st of October, and I attended the council workshop this evening. That's my report.
Perfect. All right. And member Luker?
I attended the public open house on the DNR grant application for the improvements to Swenson Park last night, prior to the Park Advisory Commission meeting. I also attended the Park Advisory Commission meeting right afterwards, where the Park Advisory Commission got an update from Hannah Lynch on a review on the various park fund balances in terms of new business, in addition to the removal of the discussion of the removal of the tree in Railroad Park. There was also a review of Park Advisory Commission roles and responsibilities. And then I attended the budget work session tonight.
Perfect. All right. Member Yeager?
I attended tonight's work session. I attended the 2020 street improvement project at community meeting, and I also attended last night's Swenson Park open house. And thank you all for coming.
All right. Member Schilling?
I attended the budget work session prior to the council meeting, and thank you guys for coming out. That's all I have.
All right. I attended the 2020 Kettle River Road Project open house. It was well attended, and residents were happy with the plan and looking forward to getting the roads fixed. I also hosted the Chisago County Mayor and city staff for an update on the Armor Radio System agreement negotiations. In September, the negotiation team offered a fair and substantiated user fee to the county commissioners, which the county commissioners denied. The County News Review newspaper reported on October 11th, quoting Commissioner McMahon, that we had an agreement, which is not correct. The city's, townships, fire department, and police department have signed a letter stating that we, as a group, stand together in the offer we presented to the county commissioners based on factual, transparent numbers, not the current overinflated fees that cannot be substantiated by the county, a number which the commissioners and staff agreed were put in place only to prevent too many radios to be on the system. A letter with all the signatures from the Chisago County mayors, township boards, police and fire, along with our last proposed fee amount, should be in the hands of the commissioners in the next 10 days. I also attended the Minnesota Commercial Association of Real Estate Realtors with Mr. Linwood Over 600 commercial realtors and developers attend this event. Many cities and counties use this event to promote their city's available land and commercial buildings. Mr. Linwood and I staffed our city booth alongside Chisago County's booth. It was a great partnership promoting what Wyoming and Chisago County has to offer and why they should develop in our city. I also attended the Park Advisory Commission last night, the budget meeting tonight, and last but not least, I also attended the Fire Relief Association inaugural dinner and fundraiser. It was a huge success, and congratulations to the firemen and women who planned this event. They did a great job, and they plan on doing it again next year. You're going to want to get a ticket if you can, because I believe they sold out, and you get that ticket for life, unless somebody passes up on that, and the prime rib dinner was amazing. So good job to them. With that, do we have a motion to adjourn? Member Zeros, do you want to make that motion?
Yes, I would. I'd like to make the motion to adjourn.
All right, do we have a second?
Second.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, we're adjourned. Thanks for coming.
Aye.